BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
Welcome to Austria and a special edition of the When You're Smiling podcast. We're here following Leicester City's pre-season training camp as the Foxes continue their preparation for the new championship season. And they have a new man at the helm. I'm Owen Palmer-Atkin, and I've been speaking to Martí Cifuentes on why he decided to join the Foxes, the goals for this season, and what work fans can expect to see in the transfer market. All exclusively for When You're Smiling.
Sorry about my voice.
No, that's okay.
So those guys know. Now it's getting much better. 2 days ago I would not have been able to have this interview, but it's coming. It's coming back.
It sounds like you've been a busy man already with that voice, Marty, in terms of getting your ideas, your coaching philosophies over to these players already.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a bit like this, right? When you sign a new club, especially the first days, having the opportunity in a camp like this, in a fantastic environment as we are, to spend a lot of time with them, not only in the pitch, but as well off the pitch, and as well as spending time with the staff. So it's a lot of meetings going on to learn about the performance department, to learn about the analysts, to learn about the club at the end. So it's been some intense but very useful days.
I wanted to ask you about why Leicester City, because this is a team that has been through an awful lot over the last decade. I wonder what you saw in this project that made you want to come here.
A lot of things, honestly. First of all, obviously, I'm aware about the history of the club. It's a fantastic club with a rich history, not only the legacy of big players, but as well what this club has achieved for many years, especially the last years. Second, because in my opinion there is a talented squad, a lot of quality players that fit very well into the way I understand football. I'm very excited to work as well with a very strong academy that is helping to develop a lot of young players. And certainly as well, I'm attracted as well the fact that it's one of the best training facilities perhaps in the world. So I think there is a combination of things that make this a fantastic job to enjoy doing what I love, that is coaching.
Leicester fans will have seen you in action at Queen's Park Rangers over the last couple of seasons. I wonder though what you think you will be able to bring to this football club and how that you feel like you will be able to take it to a new level.
I think that every club is different. I really enjoy my stay at QPR. The fans were amazing. We built something really strong with the players, especially in a not very easy situation when I arrived. And I'm so happy and so grateful for the opportunity they gave me as well to coach in England. That it was a little bit of a dream of mine. Now I have the opportunity to take a big step as well into a really big club like Leicester is, and I'm looking forward to give them. I know how tough sometimes it can be after relegation, but to bring them this love for the game, that they enjoy our games, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be. We know that Championship is a beast. It's a difficult league, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to not only get the help, because it's very easy to ask for help, but at the same time give them something back. And in that sense, I really want them to enjoy the way we play, to this fearless style that I read a lot about this club, and as well I think that there is a foundation from some years ago about the way of playing that fits very well into my idea. So I want them to feel proud of the football team again.
How have you settled in so far? I suppose coming to a place like this and being with all the staff, all the players, just you guys all together is the perfect way to start your time at Leicester.
Yeah, I said yesterday we had a really nice evening together with the group, and I said to everyone, really grateful for the welcome to me, to my staff, and it's always a pleasure when you arrive and you receive such this helpful approach, and everybody has been so handy to help in every detail. So in that sense, very happy with the first days, and obviously the opportunity that we have to spend 24 hours a day together, it's very important to settle the foundation for the season.
When you look at the new season that is very, very quickly coming around, what are the goals for this football club in your view?
Well, first of all, I think that it's very clear that this is a big football club and that we should try to go to Premier League as soon as possible. But at the same time, I'm very aware that, as I said, it's not going to be easy. So we need to build a foundation, we need to build an identity that can sustain that over time. So I think that the project is very clear. There is a very exciting academy players coming. I am a big believer in the young players as well. I do believe in a certain way of playing football, and I think that we need to be very strong on those areas to build that identity that is aligned with the history of the club, and then in order to not only achieve the first target, that is to be back at Premier League, but as well to be a club that can do really well in this division.
Is that the blend that you're looking for then, to take the immediate success of getting back into the Premier League, where this football club and its fans will feel that it belongs, alongside the sustainable future for what every club will be hoping to gain over the next few years when they start new projects? Is it about creating that blend for you here?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's always the compromise that we as managers we always have in every job that we got. It's always about trying to get the best results as soon as possible, because if there is something that is sure is that we don't have much time. That's the reality of this business. We get judged every weekend. We are great when we win. We are not very good when we lose, and we just need to accept that. But the reality is that I'm calm about what I feel in other clubs, about helping the other clubs that I've been to be in a better position every time I left for different reasons. And in that sense, I really want Leicester to be a successful team over time, to build this foundation that can help the club to be better every day. And this is a little bit the drive that I have myself, to make sure that I push everybody around me, that the people that is around me push me as well, to be the very best of the very best version of myself. And this is what we're going to try to achieve.
And the very best way of getting back to the Premier League is by doing what Leicester City did a couple of years ago and winning the Championship title. I wonder though, with that in mind, whether you feel like there is a bit of a pressure on this football club to perform again, because they have done it recently in the Championship, to go straight back up, and how you deal with that pressure.
Yeah, and hopefully we're going to receive as well some help from other team beating 4-0 someone else in the last few games, no? But no, definitely I'm aware about the expectations, and I think that's the way it must be. Said that, as I said before, it's not an easy league. The fact that 2 years ago this team did really well under Enzo and under a lot of players that are still here, obviously sets a reference. But the reality is that in football, every season, every game is different, and we need to approach in a very humble way the season. We cannot expect that it's going to be just a walk in the park, or that it's going to be easy to reach 97, 100 points, because to do that you really need to be, first of all, really, really strong, and then second, you need to have, in certain moments of the season, you need to have this champions lack, if you want to call it. So I think that we need to start very humble. We need to work really hard, to be aware that it's not easy to change the dynamic after, unfortunately, not a very good period, and that we need to get back to win football games, to make sure that we do it with a certain identity. And to do that, for me, the best way is to look at the performances. Instead of being so obsessed about the result, I'm someone that I'm always very focused on doing the right things, because this will get us the results that we need.
I hope Enzo thanked you for that night. When
Actually, we had a good relation with Enzo. I'm very happy about how things are going for him as well. But as well, he was very, very kind of very nice. The couple of times that we met, that we play against each other, and yeah, it was a good night for, I think, both of us.
You talked there about the goals, of course, of getting this club back into the Premier League, but how you do it, and I'll ask you a little bit more about your tactical philosophy in a moment. But I wonder, from a wider perspective on this project, how you get Leicester City in a position where they can be sustainably fighting at the top end of the Championship and into the Premier League in the longer term.
As I said, for me it's very important to have a clear idea on how we want to do things. This applies as an identity on the pitch, but as well off the pitch. We need to be very clear on what is our edge, what makes us better in certain areas than other teams, and then to try to exploit that. And as I said, for me it's very clear that this club has some areas where the potential is incredible. We have one of the best training grounds in the world, and this is enough to attract very good players, but at the same time to make sure that we really develop them, that we really help them to be the very best version of themselves. And then we have an academy that I'm so excited to start to work with, because I really believe in the young talent. I'm a big believer that having these possibilities, it's a very good way to sustain and keep growing as a club. And I definitely think that the history, the legacy that this club has will help us. I'm really looking forward to meet Birch. He's a club legend, and I'm sure that he will help me to understand even more. But we're talking about fantastic players that have been wearing this shirt, and that should help us to understand where we come from and where we want to go.
I hope you enjoy meeting the Birch as well. That will be a whirlwind. I wanted to ask you about the tactical side of your game. I've seen in a few interviews already you've spoken about your taking inspiration from Johan Cruyff when he was at Barcelona. Just talk me through that inspiration and how that manifests itself in your game now.
I think it's very simple. I was born and grown in Barcelona during late 80s, 90s, so I started to watch football under Johan Cruyff, and I got in love with the game. Then I discovered that there was many other ways to play the game, but definitely that was the one that really strikes me as the best way, not only to win football games, which in professional football obviously is the ultimate goal, but at the same time I think that as a manager I owe something to the people that spend the time, the efforts to come and support the teams, and in that sense I want the fans that come and watch our games to enjoy football. And sometimes, hopefully a lot of times, we're going to win. Hopefully not often, hopefully very few times we're going to lose games, but still on those days they feel proud, they enjoy on that performance, because at the end it's a game. So that shaped my mindset in terms not only the way I saw football in the pitch, but the philosophy behind it. Football should be something to enjoy, and that applies to footballers. I always say the same, no one starts to play football to chase and the one who's having the ball. All of us, we start playing football as a kids because we enjoy having the football in our feet, and that's a little bit the foundation. And from there, I want a team that is attacking, a team that doesn't compromise the style, because we believe that that's the best way to win football games, and that of course is adaptable, because every football game is different. There is an opposition that prepares well, there is an opposition that has as well their strengths, and we need to be aware of that, especially in a league like Championship. But for me it's very important that we are dominant, that we have this attacking idea, attacking philosophy during the games, that even if we score one, we keep trying to score another one, and that we use the ball, the possession, to try to attack, and if we lose the ball we try to regain very quick.
I don't know if you know this, but Leicester City actually tried to sign Johan Cruyff in 1981. Jock Wallace was looking for an attacking midfielder. It didn't come off in the end, and maybe that played a part in what you went to see later on at Barcelona as well. But I wonder for you, clearly the tactical side of the game is so important for you, and it's clear to see your passion when you talk about that as well. How do you think that shows itself in your players as well, that enjoyment that you talked about in terms of having the ball at their feet and wanting to enjoy their football too?
I think that every football player in the world will be more attracted on the idea of playing in possession to attack. Obviously we know that at the end in professional football, as I said, the ultimate goal is to win football games and to win trophies, and that's why there are many different approaches in this game, and that's why as well it's a beautiful game, because you can win through many different ways, and I have full respect for any other kind of approach. As long as you do it well, I think that it's so interesting to play against different approaches. What I know for sure is that my philosophy is very clear, which direction, how is this philosophy, but at the same time I try to adapt to the strength of the players. I like to play with wingers that play full width, that go a lot on 1v1, but if for certain reason I don't have this kind of play, then my job is to try to get the best of those players. What it will never change is the idea to try to be a dominant team. However will be the shape, however will be the formation, that we're going to try to attack, however we can attack, and this always depends on the qualities of the players. So my job is now try to learn how all those players, start to work with them in different solutions, and try to help them to understand the game in the best way, because at the end they are the stars, not me. I want them to get all the headlines, not me. Only when the bad things are coming, I want me to be there, but I think that the players should play with freedom. Hopefully the supporters will support them as well, the fans will understand that we need to help the players, and hopefully then they can express themselves in the way that we want.
In your first game, the last pre-season game, we saw a lot of the ball go wide into very exciting wingers. I'm sure that's something you'll have enjoyed since coming in. You talked there about how you want your wingers to be direct, creative in one-on-one situations, and you have a lot of those wingers at the club right now.
Yeah, and as I said, that was one of the reasons when I analysed the team. For me, the squad is full of quality players in all areas, but definitely wingers are one of them. When you have players like Steffi, like Jeremy, like Casey, like Abdo, all of them good on 1v1, all of them with pace, all of them brave to go into the last third. It's very exciting to work with that kind of players, and that is not easy to have as much quality in championship, and they are, in my opinion, top. So hopefully we're going to help them as well to score goals, to create more assists, to create even more for the teammates, but the potential and the quality is definitely there.
How have the players, do you think, taken to your ideas, your philosophies so far? And I know it's always difficult to put a timeline on these kind of things, but how far down the road do you think you are maybe to seeing what you want to see from this group of players?
Well, this is a question that is very difficult to answer, because first of all, regarding how the players are getting into these ideas, you should ask them. What I see is that they are very focused during our meetings, that they are hands-on during practices, and so far I'm enjoying what I've seen. And regarding the second question, whoever can give you an answer is lying. Football is a complex sport. It's a lot of factors that can affect injuries, a lot of things that can affect the development of a team. Results is part of it, the confidence, it's a lot of things. What I know is that we're going to try to be better every day. So whatever we did yesterday, we're going to try to do better today. If the expression, the identity that we show in the last game, which in my opinion was very decent to be the first game together, was good, we're going to try to be better in the next couple of games, knowing that at the end it's going to be some up and downs during the process, during the games, from week to week or even from month to month. The important thing is that during this journey together we can compete, that we can still manage to grind it out, and that we can manage as well to compete even on the bad days, because I learned through years that the best teams are the ones that even on bad days can manage to win football games.
We are in the middle of pre-season preparations, but we're also in the middle of a transfer window as well. I wonder, from your perspective, from a club's perspective, what the transfer window looks like right now, where the club are in their position.
I think it's very clear that we have a lot of players at the moment in the squad. Definitely there is a lot of quality, but at the same time we need to understand that we need to train this squad. At the moment in Austria we have 32 players, which is quite a lot, and obviously it's not what I want. Said that, everybody's aware that the market still is a lot of weeks until it's closed, the window, so a lot of things can happen. The important thing is that now, these days, give me an opportunity as well to learn from the players, to understand more what they can give to the team, what they can give to the idea, and from there take some decisions.
Is it fair then to say that because of the number of players in the squad that there will have to be departures before there can be incomings?
I think always timing in football is key, and it's difficult to give you a straight answer on that. What I know for sure is that I don't like to work with very big squads, that's for sure. I know that championship, hopefully we're going to do really well in both cup competitions, so we're going to need enough players to rotate, to make sure that everybody's ready during the season, because you never know if you can have a bad period of injuries or whatever it is. But at the same time, I'm a big believer that we have a fantastic academy, so I want the young guys, even the ones that perhaps are not here today, that have a chance to train with us, to show themselves, to hopefully have opportunities during the season. So I think that it's pretty obvious that some changes will happen during the next weeks.
Have you identified, and I'm not going to ask you for positions or anything like that, but have you identified areas in the squad that you believe need either improving or altering slightly to suit the style that you want?
Yeah, I think that it's a work in progress at the moment. As I said before, sometimes what you see from the players through the games, through the videos, through the games from last season is one thing, but then to start to work with them, to ask them certain things, to see if they can really perform in the way that we want, it will give us a different view on some of them. So I think that it's fair to say that at the moment I'm very focused on trying to learn from them. At the same time, hopefully they learn about me, about what I expect from them. And as I said, the right moment will come to decide if there is any area that we want to strengthen.
There have been perhaps rightful concerns from supporters around the club's finances, and obviously most clubs at the moment trying to fit within the PSR rules, whether that be in the EFL or the Premier League as well. Is that something that you have spoken to the club about, maybe before joining or since joining the football club, to see actually how much scope there is to move in this transfer market?
Yeah, I think definitely it's a topic for all the clubs at the moment in UK with these constant, sometimes challenging rules. What is clear is that I will not speculate much about things that are not 100% clear. But what is sure is that me, the club, together with John, with the ownership, we had good conversations about possible scenarios, and I'm fully aware about the situation. So what I cannot say now is to speculate about what can happen, because I think that probably no one knows.
Just looking as well at the younger players, you mentioned them a few times, and there have been, particularly over the last couple of months, Jeremy Monga, Jake Evans, even Louis Page getting on the score sheet in the first pre-season friendly as well. There seems to be a real plethora of young players, exciting young players coming through the academy. How much, and it's clearly that you want to do this because of what you've already said, but how much focus are you putting on implementing those younger players into the first team squad for this season?
I think it's part of my way of understanding the game, my way as well, my background as well is starting as academy coach. I'm a big believer in young players, giving them the right platform to express themselves, and it's never easy. The jump, my experience, perhaps really challenging here in England, the jump from academy level to first team, especially in a club like Leicester with big players, with big demands, with big expectations. But what I've seen so far, I think that we have an amazing potential. So I'm looking forward to work with them. And then at some moment, of course, they will receive my confidence, but it's up to them as well to show that they belong here and they have the right qualities. But for sure, what they're gonna get from me is the confidence to express themselves and to enjoy about playing football, because at the end, that's what it should be about.
And not only, I mean, we've spoken there about 15 and 16-year-olds, but actually there is a real core of this squad that have come through the academy system. Jakub Stolarczyk, and even through to Casey McAteer, Luke Thomas in there, Hamza Chowdhury, and also Ben Nelson and Will Alves returning from their loan spells, and you have Andy King in and around the place as well. How important is that for you, to have that core of the squad that really know what Leicester City is, right from under sevens all the way through to the first team?
It's massive. It's massive. Not only about the players, because definitely the fact that I think, if I'm not wrong, we have 14 players that have been through the academy system and here now in Austria, which is a fantastic number, and it's a pleasure. They understand what the club means. They probably have a feeling for the club that is very strong, and that's always a small edge that we need to exploit and that we need to use. But as well, as you said, when we start the conversations with the club, it's something that I always ask. I want to work with someone in the staff that knows the players, that knows the club, that knows the area, to let me understand better what is the tradition of the club, what are the values of the club. And in that sense, to have someone like Kingy is a pleasure, because he's not only very competent on the pitch, I think he has done a fantastic job over the last 2 weeks, but at the same time, his knowledge of the club, it will be massive. So I'm very happy to do that, and as I said, it's a pleasure to work with such amount of academy players that I'm sure will fight for the club.
This year, or this season, marks 10 years since the beginning of the Premier League season, where Leicester City went on to achieve the impossible, it felt at the time, but they did it in the end. I wonder how you look back and how you view that legacy that was set back then.
Definitely explains expectations that might be around us, and I always like to be in places where the expectations are high, because that means that there is an ambition, that means that there is a pressure as well to deliver, and I'm ready for that. The fact that 10 years ago this club managed to achieve one of the most amazing achievements over the last years in any sport says a lot about a lot of people that are still here. I learn a lot about people in the staff that have been here during the last 20, 30 years, and they have been through a lot. But the fact that this club managed to achieve such an important and an amazing success says a lot about the potential of the club.
And finally, I just wonder how you feel about being part of the team and leading the team now into hopefully what will be a rebuild into similar heights in the future, back in the Premier League, and being part of the team that has to be tasked with doing that now.
I'm definitely honoured and I feel very encouraged from what I've seen, responsible at the same time, so for me accountability is an important word that we already share with the players, and this will never be a one-man job. I will try to lead, I will try to guide if you want, but definitely hopefully it's going to be something that we achieve all together with the fans, with the players, with all the staff, and hopefully we can achieve really nice things together.
Marty, thank you very much for being with us on When You're Smiling, and best of luck this
season.
Thank you very much.
Top man,
appreciate it.